Welcome back. And with us today is Dina Franke with Help in Crisis, and she has a great new store that we want to talk about. But before that, just for those of you who do not know what Help in Crisis entails, Dina, can you tell us just a little bit about the different programs that Help in Crisis incorporates?
Our main beginning point was a crisis line for anyone, because you have no discretion about who calls the hotline. So you get calls ranging from needing help with utility bills to being battered or raped. We get, then also we have a shelter that is in Cherokee County. We serve 4 counties. We have offices in Wagner, Sallisaw, Stillwell, and Tahlequah. And then, as Patty said, we just opened a new retail outlet that is called Encore, and it is a project to benefit Help in Crisis, which is very timely as we face these hard economic times. Having a store where we can let the women go and pick out things that they need that are in the shelter and their kids, and but not have to dig through black trash bags is really a nice part of this.
Yeah.
And then not having all of those donations in our office is a really nice part. But the best part is that the women will get some work experience, and we hopefully will have some income that is not tethered to a grant, not tethered to a project, that's able to just kind of help us meet ends all the way around, because it's a time right now.
Right, and you have quite a few fundraisers throughout the year, different things, and while our community has really stepped up and come to the aid of Help in Crisis, because it is such a need in our county and many counties across the United States, even, not just our state, that the store is really going to be a benefit. Not only do you get so many donations that you don't know what to do with, this is actually extra income, and you need volunteers for this, right?
We always need volunteers in every way there is, and so there's a volunteer opportunity there for anyone that would want to volunteer. You can come and work at the store, you can learn to answer the hotline, you can volunteer with the children at the shelter. One of the pushes that we have right now is about prevention, and that really focuses on encouraging and engaging men to stand up and talk about that violence in relationships is not okay, and that there are other ways to have healthy relationships. And so that prevention effort is new, but is a real focus on men and their piece in this movement to stop violence against women and children.
That's great. Well, actually, talking about volunteers, that's how you got started in this.
That's how I got started many years ago, when we were
28 years ago. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I met Dina. It was on the Greenwood playground, and our boys were playing baseball, or I guess t-ball, and we got to be good friends and watched our kids grow up together. And I've seen you do some amazing, wonderful things, and you started out as a volunteer, and it just went from there. It just took your heart, and you saw a big need, and you addressed it big time.
Well, I really saw the children and their need at that point, and we've tried to always keep kids in focus. We do a lot of prevention work. We also support and facilitate the multidisciplinary teams and the Child Advocacy Center. So for a domestic violence, sexual assault services organization, that's a little bit different. But what we see is that violence begets violence begets violence, and so there's just that ongoing generational kind of issue, and so you have to really work at it from a lot of different sides to make improvements and to slow that down. So.
Now, you have a hotline that's very important. That number has been called and helped many people. Can you give us that number?
We have an 800 number, which is 1-800-300-5321, and that is for outside of Tahlequah. And for the Tahlequah area, it is 456-HELP. 4357. So
that's pretty easy.
Pretty easy. 456-HELP.
And you do have an incredible website that lists all your services available, and where to contact and what to do, so that you don't necessarily just feel so totally helpless. And if you know somebody who is in a situation that where they might need some help, that going to the website, which is
www.helpincrisisinc.org.
and you might look up these services that are available. And even if you don't find an area that you think fits your need, call. Dina is good. She'll probably start up a new service.
There's always a need for everyone's talents, and we're really, we could not do what we do without our volunteers. They really make the difference in how services are provided and the depth and breadth of services that we're able to provide for our communities is because of volunteers.
Well, even though Cherokee County and the state of Oklahoma has fared much better in this economic climate, it still has taken a toll on many people. And your needs have been raised. While everybody has still been very helpful and generous, we've got to step up and really stay on top of this because our needs have grown.
Many of the families that we work with have, they live close to the edge financially anyway, and so when it gets to the point that the economic downturn is as it is right now, they're falling over that edge, and so that means that violence in their homes is probably worse. And so we're just kind of trying to pick up the pieces and keep things from getting any worse for them. We did have a homicide in Sequoyah County this last weekend, so we're waiting to hear. Was not someone that we had provided services for, but makes the state, I think, at 40 for the year for homicides.
Goodness. Well, we do want you to support Helping Crisis as you see the opportunity and the different fundraisers that come along. Please be generous, and you know they always need volunteers. There cannot be enough people in this people helping business that you have in Helping Crisis. And don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.